Warning! The following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another Pro League on Geoguessr. We're doing a World League 2020. This is leg 25 of 48. We are officially more than halfway with this Pro League, which means we're probably at the AI made world map, as last week was an improved world and it's been an AI made map every other time. And that seems to be our worst one. We currently are at 29th. We might be able to break it in the top 25. It's actually not that far out of reach. So that is hopefully some good news. We just have to do like that much better. Which, it is the World League. There are 4 minutes per leg. And it is a 2. So we should be fine. We should be fine with this. Hopefully everything works out for the better. But not much we can do about it. Now this video will be going up after the World League has ended, so I believe this will be up at 5 p.m. Eastern. So I am looking forward to it. We are doing it a little bit earlier today. That is because we are recording the Geoguessr Pro video today. Oh my god, it's happening. Let's go. We're already off to a great start. We have Trek Review in the middle of fucking nowhere. We do have cabins. I guess we're supposed to use the architecture and the flora around us to figure out where we are. We all know how great I am at that. Luckily, we do get to see some English. It's patrol cabin and cabin de patrolleries. So this is Canada. We're somewhere in Canada, particularly the French-speaking part of Canada. Maybe we can get away with, like, right on the border, Quebec and New Brunswick. That might be a play. Let's see if we'll be able to get out of here. We tried to walk towards what I thought was the road, but it looks like there's actually a gate over here. We got some cattle skulls. No markings. Can we find our way to pavement? Or anything else? Now, I've never been the biggest fan of Trek reviews. I think it's limiting into what you can and can't figure out. And I think this is, I don't know, a perfect example of that. We're in a field on somebody's farm. Maybe those are important buildings. Maybe they're not. You don't typically see these on any normal map, and I don't want to say normal as if it's like a customary, because an AI made World Map 5000 is technically a normal map. But you're not going to find this location on a diverse world. You're not going to find it on a balanced world. You're not going to find it on... Maybe you'll find it on a rural world, because this is incredibly rural. But there's no clues, there's no hints. I'm glad we were able to find French and English together. Does that really tell us where in Canada we are? Not really. It does seem rather flat. I have yet to see a telephone pole. Obviously, we're not going to be able to look at license plates because we're in the middle of fucking nowhere. So it's, do we have a good feel for where we are? Now, obviously, just because of the French, that doesn't mean we have to be solely in the Quebec region, but it's the most likely. I believe they do use French in other provinces, and that's probably just like a marker, an alert system, something. There's nothing really here. Do we spend the time? I don't think it's worth it. We've gone quite a distance, and it doesn't look like it ends anytime soon. So we're gonna go with random middle of fucking nowhere Quebec and hope for fucking luck. And it ends up being Alberta. Ends up being bumblefuck Alberta. There's nothing even gonna be listed here. So it looks like it's a state park over by Peace River. The Wood Buffalo National Park of Canada. When you talk about rural, that's gonna be one of them. That's gonna be one of them. We are able now to see some better things, I guess. Looks like we have a phone number, but it doesn't really matter. Country code of 8, we do have some Cyrillic, and we do have a .com. So I guess it makes sense to be Russia. Let's see if we can't find, I don't know, a real fucking sign. I'm glad we at least have a car today. After last round. It's still in Cyrillic, so our options are Russia, Ukraine, Bulgaria. Obviously, Serbia, but it doesn't really feel like Serbia. So I think we can get rid of that. We might be able to find the letter I, which would be the Ukraine. But, no, these are Russian, I'm pretty sure. So then we're in a flat-ish part of Russia. It's kind of warm because there's leaves on trees and pretty green grass, and it's raining. So then, obviously you could be taking that like, I don't know, summer. But I think it's going to be Russia. And that would put us probably down here. Although we tend to end up a lot further east than I think I want to. Oh god, I don't have a pen. Can we translate? Yes. Is that going to be worth it? Maybe. The P.H, I think, is what's going to make me not want to. If that had a number next to it, like 57 or 30 or even like 350, then yeah, we'd probably translate it. My only concern is, what if it's like not a town name, and then we spend 30 to 40 seconds translating it, and then we spend the remaining time looking for it, and then it ends up being the name of a river, you know? So that's partly the reason why that sign we're gonna ignore. Hopefully we could find another grouping, and hopefully we could find, I don't know, Moscow, or any of the other larger cities that we actually know where they are without having to spend the time to look for it. That's the hope, that's the dream. Is it going to be likely? Not really. Are we going to try it anyway? Yes. Now we have a nice, wonderful raindrop on the front of the camera. So even if we do find a sign, there's a chance we won't be able to see anything. I love it. Makes you feel all nice and warm and fuzzy inside, right? You know what also makes me feel nice, warm, and fuzzy inside? Apparently, we have the high score right now with 644. Well, no, we beat the leader. And that's, I don't know, maybe impressive. I don't think we would have ever gone without Berta in the last one, though. Don't think it would have ever happened. But, 3 minutes down, haven't seen a single sign that we would claim as useful. Yes, we have seen that sign, but again, no numbers, no go. I think we rely too much on distance. And we're not even good at judging distance. Like, if it said 50 kilometers, and we were actually able to find the town, there's a chance we probably guessed, like, 400 kilometers away from it, thinking that was 50 kilometers. Like, judging distance, not so great. Alright, so that was actually the name of the town we originally saw. I don't actually know where any of this is. Which means, though, we traveled quite a distance. Let's go over by Ufa and Chelyabinsk. It feels okay. I wouldn't be surprised if we're over here, maybe over by Bratsk. But we're out of time. We gotta hope for fucking luck. Hope for fucking luck. And it does end up being a lot closer to Novosibirsk. Not terrible. 2,000 points isn't bad. Here's Koshino, and here is Cholum. I think we saw Cholum and Kokoshino on the signs. So, not terrible, not great. It looks like if we went the other way, there was a chance we would have found Kargot, and that probably would have been a little bit more helpful than going the distance. See, this is part of the reason I don't like this AI-made world map. I don't like these middle of fucking nowhere trek reviews. What are we supposed to do with this information? There's nothing fucking around us. It doesn't matter which direction we go, we're not gonna find anything. Sun's to the south, we're in the northern hemisphere. We have a fucking desert. Where do we fucking go? Mexico? Anything on her shirt? Is that the Canada flag? I think that's Canada. Because then you got the blocks and then maybe the maple leaf? So this would be Bumblefuck Nowhere, Canada? Yeah, Park Canada. So, you know what? This doesn't even mean we're in Canada. Although it's probably likely. So the two trek reviews we get are Bumblefuck Nowhere Canadas. Great. Love it. How lucky can we get with guessing fucking Nowhere Canada? Probably not so great. Doesn't feel very volcanic. I think that puts us away from British Columbia. It feels rather flat. We do have these rolling hills, and that's kind of like these grass things. Just want to make sure it says, yeah, Parks Canada. So, this is another park in Canada. Do we go Manitoba? Again, yes, just because it doesn't feel volcanic doesn't mean it's British Columbia, right? It could obviously be Yukon, British Columbia, any of these territories. I feel like this is more western or middle than eastern. Mainly because I feel like the further east part of Canada is more populated. But obviously, the further north you go, the less people that live there. Feels rather dry. I think we're coming up to a river. We are coming up to a river. So this isn't going to be too helpful. So, and we're actually going to cross it. Whatever, not a big deal. I don't think we're going to find anything while we're here. I'm happy that her shirt says Parks Canada. I wish this icon was readable and said what park this was. So then we could spend our time trying to find what park it is. It looks like it's a beaver. Is there a Beaver Tail National Park? We're like pulling at fucking strings here. There's a wood buffalo. We were already there. Is there a beaver tail? Jasper National Park, Banff, Popular, Caribou, Sand Lakes, Polar Bear. So, it would make sense if there's parks named after animals that there would be a beaver. Can we fucking find it, though? I don't think we can. The Sand Lakes kind of feels where we are. And I wish all these smaller parks were labeled. Because I don't think we're going to be able to find like a beaver or a beaver tail until obviously time expires. Pure Cell. There's so many parks, man. Oh my god. This sucks. And we didn't really even look in the territories. For some reason the territories always have like weird names. And I don't think something called Beavertail would exist. Queen Maud Gulf Bird Sanctuary. You know? Probably not in the territories. But we don't really have anything else. So let's hope Manitoba's the correct choice. Or way far north in Alavik National Park. And now, if this isn't 90, I'm concerned. There's nothing even relatively close to this. So, fuck the... This is why AI made world maps with Trek Review suck. Because all it is like, I just want good quality. I want Gen 3 or Gen 4. And I want to be able to move. And then they're like, haha, remember that coverage that nobody asked for in these national parks? Here you go. And then you get stuck in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. And we had it twice in one seed. I can't wait to see these scores, because I'm expecting everybody to be like around 15,000. I feel like 15,000 is going to be the max. Well, obviously, if it's 90, it's going to be like 20,000. But like, I'm expecting a pretty low score here. And I'm expecting everybody to have a pretty low score. We have train tracks, we have bollards. Fuck the bollards. Definitely feels Eastern Europe. We don't have any real rifts. Not Albania, not Montenegro. If this ends up being Russia again, and we have 2 national parks of Canada and 2 Russia, I'll be pretty fucking upset. It's definitely Eastern Europe, though. Kind of can see the back of a black car every now and then. Motorcycles were on the right-hand side. I don't know about you. I would never want to drive on the right-hand side with a motorcycle. And what do you fucking know? It's Cyrillic. Okay. Does anyone else really hate when shit like this happens? There's a town name. Something October. Fuck. What is... That's... B-O-P? You know how many Octobers there are, though? But this is Russia. Again, what a fucking surprise. So So 2 national parks of Russia, and, well, 2 national parks of Canada, 2 random places in the middle of bumfuck Russia. What's the last one going to be? Another fucking Canada national park? If it is, I'm choosing a random spot in Canada, I'm guessing. I'm not spending the fucking time. It's not fucking worth it. This is literally, like, the worst fucking combination so far. It's fucking trash, man. No letter I, it's not the Ukraine, we also don't have the red car. Could it be Bulgaria and Serbia? Maybe. The road doesn't really fit. That's kind of what we want to see, but not at the distances we want to see. So, is it possible to find them? Yes. You know how big Russia is? You know the odds of us finding something 7 kilometers away? Not very high. We could try to find one of the October towns, but I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of them. So it's not really worth it. And then that is something about 1941 and 43. So it's probably a World War II thing. I would rather find a sign pointing us to Moscow. What do you know? Not Moscow, but a sign pointing us to some bigger ones. So that should be Birsk, right? No. It's close enough to Bratsk. Where's open? Which is obviously not what it is, but I'm going to say it's open for right now. That should be kind of nearby. Unless, obviously, it's not this. Open should be O-R-E... Fuck. L? Orel? O-R-E-L? Wherever the fuck that would be. Then we also have that. So, is this gonna be? Well, it's not. It's complete other fucking side. Here's Bransk, which is kind of what we want, and here's Open, which is the E umlaut. Or Royal? What? So that's a yo? Well, you know what? I don't fucking care anymore. Canada. Just give me fucking Canada at this point. This is gonna be Cambodia. I have lost all fucking motivation after 2 Russias and 2 fucking Canadas. It's Indonesia. I don't fucking care. I honestly don't fucking care. That this and this demotivated 100 fucking %. That was by far the worst seed we could have ever imagined. By far. AI made world maps can go suck my fucking dick. I don't fucking care. I'm serious. D. Martin in first place, Radu in second. Simi's in 11th. Look at some of these scores. If it goes to show just how fucking bad that seed was. And we lost all fucking motivation. We're in 75th. I honestly don't care. We're not even below 100. So we're still placing, giving up 5,000 fucking points. Like, fuck some of those locations, alright? Granis at 16. Fuck some of those locations. Gets Russia pretty well. But what are we supposed to fucking do here? What are we supposed to fucking do? That's a fucking joke. And it's not even a good joke, alright? It's not even a good fucking joke. But that's going to be where we call it. I'm completely demotivated. Fuck this game. Fuck that seed. Fuck that map. But until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. And bye-bye.